Yeah, it was great to get out there today. Great to finally be out there practicing with live balls, and we've been able to meet with our guys a little bit and be able to kind of see what they know. But when you finally get out there and it's live, you really get to learn what they really know. And it was great to get out there today. I like our skill group. I thought we had some playmakers out there today. I think we have a really good group at receiver, good group of guys that can make plays. I thought the quarterbacks all did well today. Um, our O line looked good at times. Some of them were lost at times out there, which you get. They're learning a lot too. So, but there were some times where there's some guys lost out there. But overall, I thought it went pretty good today.
What's your overall view of how you run an offense in terms of scheme and kind of what you want to put your staple on here at Coastal going into their first year?
Yeah. So we kind of have our base offense. What we've always kind of done, and I think you have to build off of that based on who your personnel is and what they do well. And so it's kind of a big learning process for us too as coaches of learning our personnel and what they do well and who we can use and how we can get guys in matchups and also learning our run game, what our running backs run well, what they like to do and what our O line blocks well. So it's a big spring for all of us. It's big for our players learning our offense, but it's also big for us coaches learning our personnel and learning what they do well and what we can take advantage of. So it's a process. I'll put it that way. There's certain things we like to do, and a lot of it really starts with your quarterback and who he is, and what he does. I've had all different types of quarterbacks. I've had guys that can really run. I've had guys that can do both. I just had a quarterback that couldn't run at all. So you got to build it around your quarterback. You do have a base offense, but it's really you got to build it around your personnel and what they do well, and it all starts at quarterback. Who that guy is.
Coach Beard just talked a little bit about the quarterback room and Trey, but can you just talk about what you've seen from them, what you like?
Yeah, I thought Trey came out and did a great job today. He's a mature kid. He's been around it for a while. I like that he carries himself. He's mature. He is. He came out there. He throws the ball really well. He's just learning. He's learning the offense. I think he's picked it up pretty well though. I've been impressed with him. With his intelligence. But he just needs a lot of reps. But I thought he came out and did a great job. I'm really intrigued with him. Yeah, I thought Trey did a great job. Trevor, he's still got a little bit of work technically with how he throws the ball, but he's really athletic now. I mean, he's a guy that you could really, have a true running game for your quarterback, and he'd be able to do it really well. He still throws the ball really well. He had some nice throws ball down the field. Where he struggles a little bit at times is more quick game just because of his timing. He's a little mechanic right now, and we got to get a little bit of that out of him. So, but I thought he did a great job. And Deuce is another guy. He knows the offense better than the other two. Because he was with us at Missouri State, so he has a little advantage there. With him, it's just really being sound. If he does everything right, he throws the ball, he gets a high release, he's really good. When he tries to throw sidearm and get off balance, that's where he's not very good. So with him, it's just staying within his technique. But he did a great job out there today too. And then I like our freshman. I really do like Osiris. I think he's going to be a good player. He's young. He's learning a lot. He's never really called to play in the huddle, so he's really working on how to do that. It's just something with quarterbacks nowadays. They don't do a lot of stuff in high school that they used to. So when they get here, you got to really teach them, and it takes a while.
How do you plan on using your tight ends
Hmm.
in the system you have?
Yeah, I love tight ends. We've always been, our top two personnel groups probably 11 and 12. So I've always loved using tight ends. I like our group. Zach Courtney's a guy that's big and physical, and he's impressed me with how he runs routes. I thought he'd be more of a blocking tight end just by seeing his size when I got here, but he can run. He can run routes. He can get open. He uses his body. He can get out of breaks. I've been really encouraged by him. Cyrus is another guy that we brought in who's really athletic. Those two guys are probably our top two right now. With Zach, probably more of what we call our Y, and Cyrus being our T and 12 personnel. But I love using tight ends. It's something that our offense, even my dad, we've always used throughout our whole career. I think it makes the game easier when you have good tight ends that can block and also catch. If you get a good tight end, Zach's a matchup. He's so big. He can win against linebackers and safeties, and I'm excited to be able to use him and Cyrus. They're both really good. I like our tight end room a lot.
Can you talk about the returning receivers off the 2025 roster and the new ones you have here? I mean, they were a good room last year. It looks
Yeah.
like they're going to be real strong again this year.
Yeah, I like the room. Robbie Washington is a guy that I really like. He's explosive. He's quick. He's shifty. We like to run a lot of option routes. just within our offense, and that's something he's going to do really well. And I think I could see him having a really big year for us. Robbie's done a great job. There's a couple other guys that are a little younger that still have to learn. But I like the room overall. Tristan Glass is a guy that's tall, long. He hurt his ankle a little bit, so he's coming back right now. But I like to see him get in there and live and be able to use his size. There's a lot of guys with length and speed. Carmelo did a great job catching a go route today. He's not the tallest guy, but he's able to get in and out of breaks, and he's got good speed. It's a good group. I'm really excited about the wide receiver room. There's a lot of guys in there that can make plays, and we'll be able to use them really well.
How fast do you want to play when you get to a real game scenario
Mm-hmm.
in August and September?
I like moving pretty fast. We usually go no huddle. We still work on huddling all the time, just so it's good to go. But I like to move pretty fast. It's not like it's a tempo. It's not like we're calling tempo plays every play, but I like to have tempo and move and call plays pretty quickly, get to the line of scrimmage fast. So it's not like it's a tempo offense, but there are times throughout the game where Coach Beer's got to tell me to slow it down at times, especially in the fourth quarter. But I know to slow it down there. But yeah, there are times he's got to tell me to kind of slow it down a little bit of times. But I like to get to the ball fast, see the defense, and then try to take advantage of what they're doing.
Coach talked about the offensive line, just your assessment of what you see from those guys up there.
Yeah, I think it's a big physical group. What we got to do is find who our best five are, and play them. And that's what we got to figure out this spring. But it's a good group. There's a lot of big guys in there, big physical guys. I thought we brought in some good O-linemen too. But it's a good group. I was excited today, just to see them come off the ball. They're big, they're physical, they're long. If we can get our best five out there on the field, I think we could have a really good O-line.
Can you talk?
Go ahead, Chris.
You sure?
Mhm.
Can you just talk about your dad's influence on you becoming a coach and things and everything he's kind of taught you? Obviously, he's a huge name in the college football world. Just talk about his influence and everything he's done to help you get to where you're at now.
Yeah, he's helped all of us. I mean, there's so many people on this whole staff he's helped throughout his whole career. But obviously, yeah, he's helped me my whole life. We run the same exact offense. We still talk all the time. He'll still send me stuff that he's doing now a little different, and I'll send him stuff I'm doing a little different now. But the base of it is still the same, exact same verbiage, terminology, everything. So it's been a big influence on me. Obviously, we probably call plays a little similarly too. He wanted me to be able to, that's one of the reasons why he left at Missouri State, because he wanted me to be able to call plays, and I think I've done a pretty good job at it so far. But yeah, it's been a big influence. I mean, my whole life, everything I know, he's taught me. So even still today, he still is. I'm still learning from him. So it's been a major influence on me.
What are Trey Carter and Grayson McCall's roles in your offense?
So Grayson is working with the tight ends right now. Trey just left,
Oh,
so he's not going to be here anymore. He just took a job, I think at a D2 school where he's taken over the whole O-line himself. So it will be good for him. We're going to be bringing in another guy. He should be here hopefully later this week. But Grayson's working with the tight ends right now. He wanted to. I told him he could work with me and the quarterbacks, but he wanted to try to do something else and work in a little different position. So he's working with our tight ends and Coach Fouch right now.
So CJ and Trey are both gone.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep. They're both gone.